to pray. There's no angels where I go, only pieces that are broken, scattered dreams across the floor. I'm home.
Alrighty, hello everybody, this is Kira's show here. Now, I am aware that this is being uploaded very late at night, for me, of course, different time zones and everything. I've seen people talk about that in the comments. But, well, I'm just going to get this series out of the way, because I don't feel like this episode will take very long, with the way how I've actually thought about it. Now, with that being said, this episode won't be very long in general, already, but it will at least finally wrap things up in a tight little bow, and leave them off better than, well, the original idea for this. So anyways, whenever we last left off, Deku had just had a strange encounter with a different version of himself from another reality. We know this as Predator Deku, but Deku just knows this as a version of himself that has the ability to adapt to anything. Along with that, he actually did hear about the way he took down the Nomu, or was at least able to hold it off. Deku's body basically spiking in, well, what he needed to do, and needed, about the whole basically becoming Doomsday. I'm actually interested to do that for a what if. Anyways, now, with that being said, let's pick up, back in space. Now, the sisters, they are, well, there. And they are ready. They are just telling the kids that things have been completed, and so is their mission. But they do need to do something. Now, everyone is a bit confused, until they are told that the males will be taking certain things. They are going to be given their surgeries. They are going to be going through 12 and 13. Now, this means that, well, Deku is 15. And so is everyone else. Now, they would be given these surgeries directly after, well, launching Deku, Predator Deku, back to his dimension. And they would get things started. Along with that, basically, as soon as the surgeries are done, launching back light speed directly back to Earth. Now, with that being said, that is stages 12, or phase 12. And they would be going through some healing. Now, everyone does notice that after these events, well, they kinda stopped questioning Midoriya. And Todoroki absolutely went to go see Mei. He's been trying to do it for a while, but he was kinda told by his dad to come home and pack up for a trip they're taking. Now, Endeavor basically sent Todoroki there because, well, he got sidetracked with something else whenever he was packing his bags. Then he went to go see Mei whenever they got back, but yeah, things were even more intense. Field trips and everything. But now he absolutely needs an explanation. He is sick and tired of all of this. Now, he would find Mei Hansume in the, well, UA, in the support class, working on different things, until he does actually walk up to her and try to talk with her. Now, whenever she does, well, pay attention to Todoroki, she doesn't pay attention for very long, actually asking him exactly what is he doing here. To which he would just say that he had an encounter with her yesterday, and he wants to know more about it. He wants to know a lot more about it, and he's kind of disappointed she wasn't there. Her paying attention to the way he phrased that sentence. You had an encounter with me yesterday, but I wasn't there. Exactly what are you talking about? And basically just holding up his phone, showing a picture of everyone celebrating. Her just staring at it for a minute, her eyes widening, pointing out that there's two of everyone in the picture. Him just saying, yes, but look at your wrist, and, well, your hands. Her doing so along with actually looking at the goggles she's wearing. Those look amazing, and she didn't think she could build those things. Actually asking him exactly what is that. Him just saying that he'll give her all the information she wants, but she has to give him information he wants first. Call it equivalent exchange. Now, with that, these two would sit down. Her basically talking about every single piece of information he wants to know. Them going up to the Himalayan mountains with Nezu, her being a spy for All Might, and one day All Might coming to her and just telling her to stop spying on them, and to leave Kirishima alone. That one day was out of the blue, completely out of nowhere, but she was already onto something. And since you basically told me about this, that doesn't mean my theory is too far out there anymore. They're aliens. Kirishima. Him basically just saying no. He can confirm that they're not aliens. They're human. I've seen Midoriya bleed. Red blood. Even then, he can't be an alien. Her basically explaining that there's a spaceship, there's all this, there's all this, there's all this. Him thinking that that idea is now a lot less out there. Since, well, the other version of him he talked to, he did say that Midoriya had a ship. And that they had a plan to get back home, involving a ship. Not the one the fan base is like. Anyways. Now, he is trying to figure this out more and more and more. Getting annoyed and finally walking away. But handing over this information. Now, that information is basically things May would give to herself. Information about goggles, bracer tech, nothing about nuclear bombs, since she knows what she would have been like if she probably didn't have the support gear, since they've told her what she's like in this reality. So, she wants to prevent that. Along with that, her basically downloading a video message, talking to herself from another reality. Along with, well, two Kirishimas in the background basically talking to each other. May somewhat picking up on that for a minute, before realizing that one of them is a male and one isn't. Her basically pointing that out herself on the camera. Telling her to ignore that, because that's still hard to figure out. Now, with that, you basically see Space Marine Deku going over to a window with Predator Deku in his arms, looking like a xenomorph. Her giving speeches and everything she needs to know about Predator Tech. Along with basically saying to keep it in English for now. But this is a sample, or, well, Yaoja. Explaining more and more and more. Along with blueprints popping up on screen. And May being amazed, wanting to work on this stuff immediately. Now, with that being said, you also have Todoroki going back to the dorms, finding these guys, and, well, they all look like shit. Now, with that, he would basically, well, watch as Deku sits down on the couch along with Kirishima. And Baku just sits down too. Basically looking like he just destroyed, what is it, roughly, I'm thinking of the Hulk, so I'm thinking about like a 20, 50 pound thing of peanut butter. Because I'm pretty sure the Hulk could actually eat all that. Now, with that being said, he would begin to ask questions. Along with saying that whenever he was there, Deku got called Space Marine by the other version of himself. And, well, All Might was there. Deku basically just saying, fuck it, and giving Todoroki the entire story, since he won't lay off of this. Now, with that being said, he would have been confused, until he heard Deku say that his dad had talked to him about it during their internship. Just ask him exactly what the Codex is, and that you know about the Space Marines. Don't call them Space Marines. He might know them better as the Blood Angels. Now, with that, Todoroki would lay off. As the full week would pass, then they would go through their Phase 13 surgeries. Now, with that being said, over with the heroes. All Might has noticed that physically his body has been getting better. He doesn't have his sunken eyes anymore, and he isn't really a skeleton man anymore. His body seems to actually be physically healthy. He has actual muscle on his body, some actual body fat, and, well, his eyes aren't sunken anymore. Along with that, he does have a bit more energy. Now, this basically means that he would look vastly different, so people would probably mistake him for a quirk activation user if he was like this, which he will be like. Now, with that being said, All Might sees basically enjoying this new physicality, and, well, the way his body is now. He basically got a second chance on it, so he doesn't want to lose it. Along with that, them getting ready for the raid on the villain's base. And getting things sorted out. Basically packing on a large file during the 2 weeks, and getting things ready for his successor. And talking with the Space Marine more. Now, with that being said, this is whenever the Space Marine would meet up with All Might, with the rest of the heroes. Kirishima and the Space Marines, in training, being a bit confused, thinking that they would face off the villain with All Might. Until the Space Marine basically said that All Might specifically said he doesn't want his successor coming, for the pure fact that if you are injured, then you might end up in his situation. Without us. Her being confused. The Space Marine explaining that after this is all said and over, he has to go back to space and join the rest of his brothers. In fact, the sisters may need to come too. So, this is why we've been getting you, well, or letting you stay in contact with your families, getting closer and closer. If we leave, you will have access to a ship, the church, and, well, you will be free to do whatever you please with your families. Everyone a bit confused, hearing that statement. Now, the Space Marine would then explain that if they won't be here, then, well, they are here with Earth. And inside the church, there is a secreted passage. It will lead to a communication hub. In case any of you need to contact anyone all around Earth, there are incidents around space that we are trying to figure out. And, well, it requires attention. I have barely been able to stay here. Basically, I've been here to get supplies we're making back over in the town. Making a supply run. It is going to be decades, if not centuries, worth of supplies. In one go. So, please understand. This is not me abandoning you. This is not the Marines abandoning you. This is your assignment. The Marine basically just brings his hand up to Deku, saying that the sisters will see them off. And, if you are lucky, you will possibly become a good chapter. Now, the Marine would then just take a knee in front of Deku. Deku confused, as the Marine would bring his hand up to his chest, saying that he hereby pronounces Deku the, well, leader of a new chapter of Space Marines, the newest rank of Blood Angels, and in service to the Emperor, the Imperium of Man. Your service will not be forgotten, and your life will start anew. As he gets back up to his feet, and walks away. Everyone not really sure how to feel. Some of them are moved to tears, but then again, Deku was just pronounced their leader. Deku just looking around at his friends. them, well, concerned, but also congratulating Deku, as they would watch the events pass by on TV with the villain raid. Events differing to canon. Whenever they raid the villain's hideout, the Space Marine actually does wear his armor, and puts himself out there to the world, along with his rifle. He is going with Mount Lady's group, and would have been there whenever All For One decides to show himself. Basically firing into All For One and actually using different weapons, along with a giant blade. Being able to cut into and actually hold off All For One until All Might arrived. Until these two dismantle All For One. And the Space Marine would have eventually had to help the rest of the heroes get the civilians to safety, along with Endeavor helping, for once. Now, with that being said, they would have all cheered it on as they do watch All Might lose his power. Everyone's surprised that, well, he's like this. Until his arm does get slightly bigger. And they watch as he basically just holds onto it. And does the final smash against All For One. The Space Marine walking over as All For One is trying to get up. Him doing so and getting ready for a second round. The Space Marine just unloading a clip in All For One's chest. Everywhere except for his vital organs. So, that would be the end of his chapter. And we will pick up with everyone at the church. They are packing bags. Well, what's left of them? Clearing out these old rooms. The church will still technically be in service. Or, well, at least registered under this city's name that they have lived in the Himalayas. I'm still trying to think of a name for this town. Now, with that being said, basically this would mean that other people from that town would come in and pose as the nuns and the priest, in order for it to maintain cover. Now, with that being said, Deku and everyone would somewhat leave, taking the rest of their belongings to their actual homes. And Ko and everyone of their families being surprised that they've at least brought things back. And Ko being surprised that Deku kept an old All Might toy in his bag, as he hands it off to Maxine, telling her to be careful with this. It is something special. Her running off and enjoying it. As Kirishima would have came over, meeting Deku's parents, and talking with his sister more and more. Now, with that being said, this is a bit of a sad day. The next day, things would go differently, with them being back at the church. The Space Marines packing things up into this ship that is camouflaged. And, well, the nuns leaving. Somewhat giving hugs and talking with everyone. Until that nun that hated Deku would walk up to him and stare him down. Quite simply taking off the thing covering her hair and dropping it to the ground. Looking at Deku and saying that he is something she does not understand. You've become the, well, champion of two gods of chaos, and you have also encountered a version of yourself from outside of our reality. I am not sure what that makes you, but clearly that makes you special. Her just bringing Deku into a hug, saying that she has always, well, waited for the day to admit it. The day that, well, they would all be in this position. She is proud of all of them, especially Midoriya. Being a champion of chaos means that you would have gone to evil, but you have stayed the course, and actually have gone back on what she thought. I thought you to be a savage whenever you fight. I've seen your brawls, most of them. And well, this is different. You were satisfied with the battle. No champion of chaos ever is. This proves that you are not indeed a champion, but you are, well, stronger than that. You have the will above chaos. You have earned my respects." Deku a bit surprised, as she would, well, tell the rest of the girls goodbye, and the ship would leave. Everyone just heading back to UA. Now, with that being said, the next couple days later, it would be announced that with All Might retiring, things will be a lot more difficult. And, well, interesting. Now, along with that, we also do have one other thing. I believe it is proper for all of you to be introduced to the Big Three. Now, Aizawa would introduce the Big Three to Class 1A. Mirio being a lot more interested in exactly the first half of the class that he's seen. Along with the fact that they are, well, the powerhouses. Plus, the guys are all as big as him, if not bigger. Now, with that being said, he would issue the challenge where he wants to see how long they can last against him. Now, this would mean that he would wait for them all. They would all get changed, and, well, Aizawa would explain to him that this is not going to be easy, and that he is, in fact, taking on this challenge by himself then. Mirio basically saying that he should be fine with it then. In fact, if he does go down, those two will just step in. Now, with that being said, this is whenever the fight would begin. The close range combatants immediately trying to hit Mirio and get him, as they would fail and be taken down fairly easily. Along with him going to attack Ochako, Mineta, Ibara, Bakugo, and other people. Them basically being surprised whenever not a lot of things do happen. They are able to dodge and stay out of his way, along with actually take a hit from Mirio, which would have surprised him. And Kirishima would come in, her trying to hit him with Black Whip, her Hardening Cork whenever he does try and hit her, and One for All. Along with Deku sending out supersonic screams that would actually, I want to say, hurt Mirio, since he does at least need to have one sense on to battle. I want to say he would try using his, his hearing more, so Deku would have actually been able to take him down. In fact, there's multiple ways you can take him down, if you kind of think about his quirk. He would need to, at some point, come up for oxygen if you understand that, since he cannot, he can permeate through air. Now, with that, they would have taken him down, then Tamaki and Nejire. Fairly easily for them. Now, Mirio would have gone on saying that they will all be good heroes, and in fact, he's looking to challenge them again anytime. So, with that, we will have the provisional license exam. Everyone is on the bus. Deku and Kirishima are actually hanging out, and, well, Kirishima would notice something that she actually does whistle at. Whenever she does actually see Ibara somewhat hold on to Bakugo's arm, which Ibara would have actually just let go and immediately turned to Kirishima. And, well, she would just make a really rude gesture, which a lot of people on the bus are actually laughing at. Until Deku does bring up one thing. Everyone's somewhat looking at him as he does say that they do need to be careful. Their sports festival is the only one broadcasted on live TV. So, well, they are probably not going to know anyone else's quirks. Him casually saying this. Everyone a bit more on guard. As well, the ones trained by the Space Marines already knew that. They tried looking into it as soon as it was all over. because they were a bit curious, along with wanting to see other battles. So, with that being said, they would all stick together. And anytime they do go off on their own, they do at least keep a partner. Although Baku would have shook the hands of that guy who would have tagged him with a quirk, so he would have actually been a bit more, well, subjected to that, along with Gang Orca arriving. Deku basically helping to take him down while they get civilians out of there. Then they have the rescue they have the tag portion, they would do that, and then the rescue portion, which I just went over. Now, with that being said, I do believe that is the, well, end of this what if. Everyone getting their professional hero licenses. So, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day. I would say catch you guys in the next part, but that's not going to be for a while. Anyway, guys, I checked it earlier before I recorded. The next what if that's supposed to be coming out is what if Deku was the son of All for One? So, I will think about how I'm going to do that. And I have thought of a way, but still, it would be a little hard to pull off. Especially if I get timing on certain things in canon wrong. So, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have an amazing day.